guy we're going to bring on, one of our friends here at Campus Insiders, former NBA champion with the Boston Celtics and Pac-10 All-Conference performer, Mr. Brian Scalabrine. Today, guys, we're going to test both of your confidence meters. And, Brian, we're going to start with you. So let's begin at the top of the West. Here you've got Gonzaga, who's a top 3 ranked team now in the nation. Brian, your confidence meter on Gonzaga getting to the Final Four.
My confidence meter is high on these guys, and let me tell you why. They played their conference tournament a week earlier, so that gives them a whole week to get everything in order, get their tickets and stuff and where they're going to go. They're relaxed, and when they hit the Final Four or the tournament, they might be a little bit rusty. But after that, they win that first game, they're well rested and they're ready to play, and they can make that run to the Final Four. This team has size, experience, and a great coaching staff. All
right, so 1 to 10, Brian, what's on the scale there, your confidence factor?
9.
9. That's a high confidence, Seth.
Wow.
Your
confidence I like Gonzaga making it to the Final Four this year.
Wow.
Okay.
Brian has a little bit more confidence in the Zags than I do. Frankly, I wouldn't give any team in the entire country a 9. I just think it's very hard to get to the Final Four. And this is not the first time that Gonzaga's had a good team going into the NCAA tournament. And they have yet to break through and make the Final Four the way that VCU and Butler and George Mason have been able to do. It's a bit of a down year in the league, so they're not getting tested like some of these teams in the Big Ten. Now, they're not losing games, so there's a lot to be said for confidence. But I look at a team like Gonzaga, and I frankly have to wonder if, maybe they would be better off playing against tougher teams night in and night out, where they can't take a night off and they go through some adversity and lose some games and have to correct some problems. Having said all that, what I really like about this team is how balanced they are. And how much they know how to play. People have really gotten a chance to see Gonzaga this season. This team knows how to play. When they played at St. Mary's last week, which was their toughest conference game of the season, St. Mary's made a run to cut a big deficit to 4 points on the road in the second half, and Gonzaga was able to push away because they played smart team basketball. So I do like that about them, but if you want me to answer the 1 to 10 question, I'll give you a 5.
Okay.
Partly because it's suspect, but partly, Brian, I'm only saying it's hard to go to a Final Four. Even great teams, it takes one bad night, one twisted ankle, and you go home. So, but Brian, listen, if you're going to work with me now, I can be a half-empty kind of guy. You're a very positive West Coast guy.
All positive,
you're this sunny side up guy. It's frankly making me a little bit uncomfortable because I'm used to being the good guy on the set, but I'm just a little bit skeptical of where they are coming out of their conference and just the general difficulty of making the Final Four.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next team, the U in Miami, always known for football, but Seth, here they are, the basketball program making big headlines. Confidence meter, if you're only going to give Gonzaga like a 5 to make it to the Final Four, what's your confidence meter? Miami wins the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah,
now you're making it even harder on me, guys. I was going to go 5. I was going to go 5 on the Final Four. If you're going the whole thing, I got to bump them down to a 3. Again, it's hard to win those 6 games. It just is. And Miami is not necessarily going to overwhelm teams with talent, but the thing that they do have is they have tremendous experience. They have 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore in their starting lineup, and then a 6th-year senior in Julian Gamble coming off the bench. They are very big inside. They have a unique player in Reggie Johnson, who's a true center, can move guys around much like Brian Scalabrine did about 800 years ago. And they have terrific guard play in Shane Larkin, who's Barry Larkin's son, so you know that he's got good genes, obviously well coached by Jim Larinaga. But you're talking about winning 6 games in the NCAA tournament. Let's see, you know what, Ray? Ask me on March 3rd, because on March the 2nd, Miami's got to go into Cameron Indoor Stadium and play Duke, who they beat by 27 a couple of weeks ago. And you know that Duke playing at home is going to be out for revenge. If Miami can get through that gauntlet and win in Cameron, maybe we'll bump them up to a 3.5.
Get a true picture of what we're looking at for Miami in March. Brian, you heard Seth. He's got him at a 3 to win it all. How about you?
I got him at like a 5, and let me tell you why. I love Coach Larinaga. His son is a coach here in Boston. I got to know him. We talk basketball. If his son knows half of what his dad knows, this team is going to be well prepared. You got to remember, Larinaga took that George Mason team all the way to the final game. And like Seth said, they have experience and they have size. They can protect the rim. That is ultra important in the tournament. When they don't blow the whistle as much and guys get to the rim, you got to have their last line of defense has to be there. I like Miami a lot this year, and I've been liking them throughout the weeks, and really they've really punched through lately.
All right, Brian, let's get back to the Big Ten here. Roughly half of the conference has at some point throughout the season been in the top 25. Your confidence meter on not one, but two Big Ten teams making it to Atlanta?
Zero.
Zero, okay.
Zero.
So wait. Gonzaga's a 9, but the Big Ten is a 0.
Yeah,
I don't know where to go with you, Brian.
Conference, yeah. I know they're talented. And I think one team could sneak in there. Like, Michigan State could sneak in there. They're good. And I know that there's a lot of good teams. But I disagree with Seth because throughout the year, they get banged up. The coaches, they kind of change their game plan. They can't be consistent in their play. I don't think that they can put it together and win 4 games. Two teams can win 4 games. Maybe 1, but not 2.
Well, I actually think he makes some very good points there because for 2 teams to be able to get all the way through is not an easy thing to do. I think there's a very good chance, it's almost a certainty, I would say, that 2 Big Ten teams are going to get #1 seeds. So at least for that first game, they'll have a little bit of advantage. I always feel like once you get past that first game, there's no advantage to being a 1 versus a 2 versus a 3 because of the parity in the game, and then it becomes a game of matchup. So for 2 Big Ten teams to get to the Final Four, I'll give you about a 4 on that. But for one of them, I might actually bump it up to a 6.
Okay, sounds good. Brian Scalabrine, thanks very much for joining us. And Seth Davis here in studio. Once again, welcome. We've got a program that's going to be coming up here before too long on CI Live, so fans are going to want to be sure to check you out.
Going to have a lot of fun.
On the website.
Going to have a lot of fun.
All right, Seth, Brian, guys, thanks again very much.